Oftentimes, uh, alcohol, when you oppress, when you suppress things, you keep it down. Alcohol serves as a disinhibitor, so instead of inhibiting, it uninhibits, if you will. In this instance, the alcohol was serving as a disinhibitor for a lot of emotional pain and physical pain. There is a curvilinear relationship between suppressing your pain and alcohol. It's not always that when people drink they're going to get angry or violent. That's just one condition. It depends on how the personality is suppressing various things. You've probably known people who drink and get flirtatious, people who drink and get sad, people who drink and get melancholy, or they start getting real giddy and silly. All right, well, whatever is being suppressed, alcohol will allow it to express itself. It in and of itself doesn't cause people to be violent. The relationship between alcohol and violence is, there's no, if you drink, you become violent. Violent is a learned behavior. Drinking will allow its expression. So in a domestic violence situation, come with me, I'm going to share with you a real clever strategy that people use, one for survival. In a a linear relationship is a straight line, all right? The more something, the more something. In alcohol and violence, it's a curvilinear relationship, all right? Let's put degrees of violence over here. 1 degree of violence, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 violence. Number of drinks. 1 drink, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Based on the number of drinks, which is related to the power of the disinhibition at this point, people start getting violent on the upswing. If you're looking at violence in domestic violence or violence towards children, when people drink, it's generally when they start drinking. They'll plateau off because physiologically your body can only consume so much alcohol until you pass out. All right? So the violence is stopping. So in a domestic violence situation, you know your partner's coming home. You know the scene. After 2 drinks, he starts beating on you pretty badly. After about 6 drinks, he passes out. All right, so what's your goal with your partner coming home? If you have to stay home, what are you going to do? You're going to get him drunk as fast as possible. Yes, and while he's got you around the throat and he's about ready to punch your lights out and slapping you, and you're saying, baby, here's another one. Come on, I know you had a rough day. Here's another one. That 100 proof looks real good right now, all right? Just give him shots, give him shots. How long is it going to take him to pass out? And you get to live another night. And then, of course, in the literature, we'd be talking about, isn't that enabling? Big time, but it's also survival. All right. So at some point you say, all right, are you going to enable and maintain this? It's going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up with you because one of those days that slap across the face is going to be through the window. And when he gets really angry, then what? It's also, you've read in the literature, in the news about parents who are killed while they're sleeping, or the husband or the batterer gets the burning bed when he's passed out, and that's when the victim starts taking after the perpetrator in the desperate hope of freedom, is to terminate, is to kill the perpetrator. Years ago, the perpetrator of that crime, the victim who turns perpetrator, was sent to prison. Now we have victims' rights, right? So women who are battered in our shelter here, if that does happen, at least you get a sporting chance to understand that after years and years and years of torture and victimization, it drove you to this, which was freedom and safety. But that's truly the act of the powerless, isn't it? Because ultimately you can say, well, girl, why are you hanging with this guy? He's mopping the floor with you, and he does this every day. And then you listen to the whole explanations of why behavior maintains itself. A lot of it has to do with the perception of oneself. When you see yourself as a victim, mopping the floor is what happens to victims. If you see yourself as worth something, now you're stuck, because people who are worth something aren't mopped, aren't beat up. And at some point you'll hear people say, well, you ask, where's your partner? Well, I kicked his butt out. Oh, you did? Yeah, he's not with me anymore. I'm not taking his crap anymore. All right, so you were a crap taker. What are you taking now? What are you taking now instead of the crap? Because you got to be taking something else. You're used to taking crap. So right now you have a vacancy in your domain here saying, missing one crap taker, one crap giver. All right? I'm not taking his crap. Who's going to replace the crap giver? A new crap giver or somebody who doesn't give crap? Well, listen to what the victim, what do you deserve? I'm a worthy person. I deserve respect. All right, so we're making movement over here, right? So now who are you going to attract into your life, right? Now I become a little bit more discriminatory, but desperate people, you know, when you get some of these very needy people, they will take anybody because we have, as Gail was talking about, a need to be attached, a need to belong. And belonging to somebody is better than belonging to nobody, in many instances. Anger, alcohol, and abuse does play a significant role, to be sure. There's also lessons in here about the sexual abuse of children, which is an incestuous relationship. Mom is the alcoholic in this scene. Mom's the alcoholic. Dad is the incest perpetrator. The young girl is frightened when mom drinks and passes out, and dad then exploits his daughter. That's that scene. Another one on emotional abuse, where two girls are laying in bed and they're talking about, they hear all the violence that's going on in the house, and they're wondering what their life is going to be like. And dad's so different when he drinks, and so is mom. And maybe we'll be foster kids. Maybe we can go be foster kids someplace. So all these neat little fantasies come up. So therein is the issue between anger, alcohol, and abuse.